The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by NYRA Bets. Bet the Kentucky Derby by using the code SGPN25 for a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match bonus at NYRABets.com/SGPN25 and start winning today. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently May afternoon, around May 1st, the first of, once again, hopefully warmer weather, at least here in New York. It's currently Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Our host always Scott Reichel, once again, going with Lonte. And together we are going to break down the games here for Friday. Should be fun. I know that we have, I think it was 11 games today. Of course, we got a full slate tomorrow. Lonte, how's it going with you? How have you enjoyed the day of baseball?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad at all. Interesting results. I mean, you saw the Brewers get blanked by the White Sox, and yesterday I think you saw the Braves lose to the Rockies. So, man, some interesting results. So, we're hitting that stretch of what every team's played close to 30 games now. So we're at the part of the season where the data kind of kicks in, and you can kind of get a better feel of some of these teams. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, I saw the Cubs came back and ended up beating the Pirates. The Reds ended up getting revenge after losing that doubleheader to the Cardinals yesterday. Mets lost at home, which is kind of shocking. But nice job by Arizona.
I bet Arizona, actually.
Oh, well, either you bet on Gallen?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he came through today.
Yeah.
But looking at the other results here, you mentioned the Brewers. The Rangers still can't score. They got shut down by Springs, who was horrible so far this season. So this team's been a mess. There's a rain delay right now in the Guardians game, and I lost money on the under in the Royals and Rays game. So many runs with 2 outs. It was a damn shame. A lot of guys were stranded, though, so I guess it's a trade-off. But at the end of the day, you had a lot of second chance, or I should say 2-out opportunities. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get out of the inning.
That's what the Royals do, man. They did it last year. They did it all last year. 2 out.
Yeah, problem is this year they're dead last in runs per game, and they scored 8 today. So that's kind of the unfortunate part. But either way, Pointers did pick up a loss there, but we'll see how the rest of the card shapes up. Anyway, anything else you want to add, or should we move on into the actual games here?
No, I think we hit on. I think we hit on everything.
Cool. So before we get into any of the games, a reminder that you can show support for the show by liking and subscribing on YouTube. Reminder, you can also leave a rating and review on Spotify or Apple. So support SGPN's free content by going to the actual shows individually and leaving a 5-star rating and review, and subscribe to the YouTube channels. For the first matchup, though, coincidentally, a game with no line. We have the Nationals taking on the Reds. For this one, you have Parker against Green. And once again, I said we had no lines, so it's going to be tough, but I'm assuming that the Reds will be favored with Green pitching on the mound. Any thoughts here? Because Parker's been pretty good this season.
Yes.
Green's been good too. The numbers are kind of identical with the two guys. Any preference?
Probably would be Green at home. I mean, he hasn't been sharp as of lately. I think his last start, his last 2 starts, I think we handicapped him, and I think we both were on him and ended up losing. So that was unfortunate. But I do like Washington. I prefer them at home a little bit more. I mean, I think they're 1-6 on the road. Parker's coming off his worst start of the year. Despite winning, he has 6 earned runs, 5 walks. He pitches a contact, low K rate. He's averaging, 3 Ks per game in his last 5. Now, Cincinnati can get hot, but they're one of those teams where if they're hitting the ball, they're going to win. If they can't hit the ball, they can't win a low-scoring game. They're 6-4 last 10. In those losses, they're averaging under 2 runs per game. 4 of those wins did come from Colorado, 3 of those, and then Miami. In that process, they gave up 25 runs in the 4 losses. So, definitely the splits are there. But honestly, I would prefer the better pitcher at home with Green. So depending on the price, which I mean, probably won't get a ton of value because it's Green, and on top of him been struggling as of late. I mean, he gave up 8 earned runs on 13 hits in his last 2. So probably won't get a discount. I would probably be playing Cincinnati like run line.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to disagree, but only because I think the Reds will be a pretty decent favorite. I don't know what the line's going to be. Parker was not good last time out against the Mets, but he was very good in every start before that. I think he's fine, but I do think when you're looking at what the price I'm expecting it to be, I think the Reds are going to be a decent favorite because Green is viewed so much more highly than Parker. I'll ask you, do you have a price cutoff for a hypothetical matchup here?
Honestly, I would think... Let's see. I'm trying to just think of comparable prices.
Like, at what number would you not want to take the Reds?
Honestly, probably like 150.
Okay. I
But
think that's
I'm
probably
it's going to be higher than that, though.
yeah. It could be. Point is, I think for the value, I'll go with Washington.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So I think Green's fine. He has not been that good lately. Parker had a bad start last time out, but the Mets are also solid. But I just think at the end of the day, you're looking at a Nationals team that has been a bit feisty lately, and I do think that the price might be too good to pass up on them
That's
in
fair.
this spot.
That's fair.
Moving on to the next game, you have the Padres taking on the Pirates. Now, for this game, you have Cease against Keller. You have the Padres at minus 150. You have the Pirates at plus 125. And the over-under in this game is set at 8 or 7.5. So Cease this season has been quite underwhelming, 1-2 with a 5.76 ERA. He also has an 11 ERA on the road, so not good at all. As for Keller, he's been better than Cease, but also not great, 1-2, 3.97 ERA. Want to point out, though, that at home this season, he has been underwhelming, 4.91 ERA in 4 starts. So I'll ask you for this game, because at first glance, maybe an over, but you remember that Pittsburgh's batting. That's going to be a problem, too. I don't think I want to lay 150 with Cease, but I think they should be able to get the Keller. So maybe a team total over for San Diego, but I think an over is probably the only play I'd consider.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll probably go with the team total over for San Diego. I mean, they've won 6 straight versus Pittsburgh, and they've actually stumbled a bit to end the month. I mean, they won 2 straight against San Francisco to stop the bleeding a little bit, but they've been underwhelming. 4-6 last 10. In those 6 losses, they have a total of 9 runs, so their offense has slowed way down. And just to compare and contrast, in their last 2 wins, they scored 12 runs in those 2 games versus 9 runs in their 6 losses. So that just shows the dichotomy of kind of the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of this offense. They're hitting the ball pretty well, but I think the big difference has been the bullpen. It's been a bit shaky in the last 10. ERA is like right under 4 versus like right under 2 for the year. So I think that has a little something to do with it. Pittsburgh, I mean, I don't really trust them. That's one of the team that I've been fading successfully thus far. Faded them in the offseason, and I'm pretty much going to continue to do so. I mean, we saw extreme value against them today with Skeens on the mound. So I like San Diego here. I think the price is probably right at my cutoff point. I would probably go with the run line. Although Keller's not been bad, but I still think San Diego's offense can wake up here. So I like San Diego.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. I'm not a Cease guy, but Pittsburgh is definitely the worst team, so I can get behind that too.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Diamondbacks taking on the Phillies. For this game, you have Kelly against Luzardo. Now, Phillies minus 160. Diamondbacks are plus 135. Kelly, 4.41 ERA, but he is 3-1. Luzardo, 3-0 with a 1.73 ERA, and the over-under is set at about 9. Now, Philly's been very good at home, 11-4. Diamondbacks, though, are 9-6 on the road. But Kelly, I said before, the ERA is kind of high, but he's getting run support. However, he has allowed less than 3 earned in 3 straight. I think Luzardo's been great. Don't get me wrong. Price feels pretty high at minus 160 for me.
Yeah.
I think it should be closer to minus 135 personally, minus 140. 160 feels too steep. I think I'll go with Arizona.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm going to take another approach. I think Luzardo's actually been the best pitcher in this rotation. 1.4 ERA last 5 starts, and he's faced San Francisco, Atlanta, and Atlanta's trending up. I know we'll talk about them in a little bit, and the Dodgers in 3 of those starts. So he's pitched really well. His hit rate has been a little bit high, but he's been good despite that, which is why I'm going to take the over. In 4 straight wins for Philly, they've scored 7+ runs in 3 of those. If you look at Arizona, 7+ runs allowed in 5 of those 7 games, 5 of their last 7, and they're 2-5 in that span. So I think both offenses can get going here. I think Philly does a lot more of the scoring than Arizona. So I guess I kind of disagree with you there on the side, but I'm not betting.
I'm just looking at the number, but I think you're right, though. I do think Kelly's more likely to get blown up than Luzardo.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I'm saying that just because I think the Philly's going to do majority of the scoring. So I like the over. I don't really trust.
Sounds like you want the run one.
Yeah, I would rather take that than the actual money line, to be honest with you, to get more bang for my buck there.
Yeah, if you wanted to go for Philly run line, by the way, you can find that at plus 140.
Yeah, that's fair.
So there you go. Moving on to the next game on the card, matchup between the Royals and the Orioles. Now, for this game, we saw Kansas City win, I believe, all 3 games against Tampa. I think they swept pretty handily in every game. As for the Orioles, we saw them beat the Yankees in a series because besides Judge, this team stinks. But the point is the Royals are now dogs against Baltimore. You have Waka against Kramer. For this one, the Orioles are minus 135. The Royals are plus 115. The over-under in this game is set at 9.5. I'm sorry, Kramer's minus 135? Yeah, I'll go with Waka in this one. Waka's not been great this season. I get it. Kramer's been really bad, but Waka has been better lately. He has given up just 2 runs in 11 and a third in his last 2 outings, and the Royals have won 3 of his last 4 starts. Plus 115, I think is very reasonable. In fact, I think it's pretty generous to Kansas City because I do think that the Orioles, so beating the Yankees, are not very good. Kramer's been a mess, and I said that the Royals did sweep over the last few days against Tampa. At least they're playing better. Good enough for me. I'll go with Kansas City plus 115.
Yeah, I think the wrong team's favorite here. I like Walker in the spot. He's coming off 6 scoreless versus Houston, and Houston's playing well. They're trending up, and we'll talk about them in a few as well. I just don't trust Baltimore in this spot. They're 3-7 last 10. Kramer, we faded him last time successfully. He's been just as bad since. 5+ runs in 4 of his 6 starts. He's allowed 6 home runs in his last 4. Not going to reinvent the wheel here. I think it's Royals, and I would put probably a unit on it. I think they win. I think they win a game convincingly.
Yeah, I do want to point out, by the way, I don't know if you heard, did you hear the sad news about the Orioles?
No, I didn't. What happened?
They sent our guy to the bullpen, so he's not going to be starting anymore. Charlie Morton, now a bullpen guy. What a shame. I had a hell of a time fading him the entire season, but now he's officially a bullpen guy.
So Kramer's next.
They're running out of pitchers. That's all I'm saying. They brought up Gibson, who gave up 4 home runs the first 5 batters that he faced against the Yankees. So they just keep bringing up bad pitchers, but Morton has officially been demoted to the pen. So if you're looking for him to start again, maybe if there's an injury, but he's now a bullpen guy. So that was the sad news involving the Orioles. Wanted to mention it, though, before I forgot. Moving on to the team that got swept by Kansas City, you have the Rays taking on the Yankees. For this one, you have Pepiot going up against Fried. And for the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at about 8.5. For the run line for the Yankees, you can find that at minus 102. See a plus 105, though, if you shop around. And for the Rays, plus 1.5, I see minus 118. Now, the Yankees have been kind of treading water lately. Lost a series to Baltimore, which is inexcusable. For Tampa, they got swept by Kansas City at home, which is also inexcusable. But you're looking at the pitching matchup. Pepiot's been fine. I think he's been kind of up and down. And you're looking at Fried being one of the Cy Young frontrunners right now.
Absolutely.
He's been amazing. 5-0, 1.19 ERA. I like the Yankees at home. They're 10-5 at home. I think that the Yankees should win this game multiple runs. Pepiot has been up and down, I said before, and Fried's been phenomenal. So give me the Yankees minus 1.5 at minus 102.
Yeah, I love the Yankees in this spot, and I don't love the Yankees a ton. As we don't bet on them a ton here. I know me and you both, but they had success versus Tampa a few weeks ago, 3-1. They probably should have won that other game. I think they blew it.
They should have. Devin Williams blew the game, and they lost the extra.
Yeah, so they should have swept them. Obviously, the offense is still one of the best in MLB. They're hitting 289 last 10 on 10 hits, 5.6 runs per 9. And Fried, for whatever reason, when he pitches, everything goes right offensively. 13 2/3 scoreless coming into this game. He's got 6+ innings pitched in 4 straight. And Pepe, Tampa's been playing kind of weird. They've been playing well for they swept San Diego and then they get swept. So it's kind of like a give and take with them. But Pepe is in a bad spot here, man. He has a high hit rate. He's not good for this matchup. He's allowed 7 home runs in his last 4 starts. I think the Yankees tee off on him. I think Fried goes well against this offense. So I'm going for a Yankees team total over, and I'll take the 1.5 with you.
Yeah, I think
I'll lay the 1.5, not take it. Okay.
One of the only guys I actually trust in this entire rotation at this point, and I think
I didn't feel great when we saw him.
Rodon's been pretty good actually.
Lately,
yeah. But I think Fried's been the best guy by a mile, so absolutely. I'll go with the Yankees minus 1.5 there. I don't think we'll have a no hitter again, which might get changed in the second meeting against Tampa. But the point is, I think he'll pitch well in this one. Before we get into any of the other games here for the Friday card, reminder, they're brought to you by Edjuice, because the first ever bank account bill for bettors, ensuring that all gambling transactions are approved, no usage fees, no imbalance. You can also earn cash rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. You can also sign up today at edjuice.bet, promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edjuice will match deposit. Edjuice.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by NYRA Bets. It's Derby Week at SGPN. Make sure to check out the Horse Gambling Podcast or the Horse Racing Podcast, Notorious OTB, for all of your picks. Plus, get on the action for those exciting 2 minutes in sports with NYRA Bets. Sign up today and boost your Derby bankroll with a $25 free bet and a $200 deposit bonus with promo code SGPN25. Join now to claim your $25 free bet and $200 deposit match bonus at nyarebets.com/SGPN25. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag, because MyBookie plays in every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, they have baseball as well. Props in every game. They also have a ton of locations you can use it from. So I recommend using MyBookie if your state does not have legalized sports betting yet. You can also use crypto for your deposit sliding fast payouts. But when you sign up for your new account, use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1K. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the Friday card. Time to keep rolling here for the next game. Looking at the Guardians and the Blue Jays. Now, for this game, Guardians were in a rain delay right now. We'll see what time that game ends. But you have Allen going up against Bassett. Toronto is minus 145. Guardians are plus 120. Bassett's been solid, 2-2, 2.62 ERA. However, the last time we ended up seeing him, he was bad against the Astros and bad against the Yankees back-to-back. So last two starts, he's gone 11 innings and 8 earned runs. So it seems like he might be regressing. As for Allen, though, he's classic Logan Allen, up and down. So I'll ask you for this game, for Toronto, do you want to lay 145? Because Bassett's home numbers are really good, but he has been bad lately. And I do wonder if he's overvalued in the spot.
Yeah, I think Toronto's overvalued. I mean, they're 2-8 last 10. Their defense and their pitching has not been good. They've allowed 6+ runs in 4 straight games. But if you contrast that, Cleveland's allowed 7+ runs in 3 of their last 5. So if you mix all that together, I like the over. I think both offenses should be able to have success. You mentioned Bassett being shaky, 8 earned runs combined in his last 2. He's at 13 hits allowed in that span. So he's,
and it wasn't even one bad start, by the way. It was like equally bad starts.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, literally, because he allowed 4 in both games. Like, literally 4 in both games. Allen, like you mentioned, up and down. He was shelled by Boston in his last start. He played 3 straight overs as well. Cleveland, I would rather have at home than on the road. So I'm going to take the over. I think both offenses should be able to go. You know, Toronto's been typical Toronto. I mean, thankfully, I stayed away from them and have not been betting them as much as I normally do. They didn't treat me to like the Atlanta Hawks of the MLB. So, I stayed away from them, and I'll probably end up fading them here, but it'll just be an over for me.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. I don't really trust the form of either pitcher. Moving on to the next game, you have the Twins against the Red Sox. So for this game, you have Ryan against Buehler. I don't see lines, but that might be because of the fact the Twins are still playing at the moment. So Buehler's been solid lately. He had a pretty bad start to the season. He's 4-1 though, so he does get a lot of run support. Was a little bit, I'd say, I don't want to say underwhelming, but he was fine in his last start. 6 innings, 3 runs against the Guardians. But the Red Sox have won 5 straight starts that he's made, so the run support is definitely there. As for Minnesota, Ryan shoved the last start. A last start, 7 innings, no runs, 11 strikeouts against the Angels, so he was very good after a shaky start against Atlanta the time before that. I don't know what the line's going to be, but I think I like the under this game. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I actually kind of like Buehler, at least what I've seen for the last month.
He's been good.
Ryan's been solid too. Minnesota can't hit. That's been an issue for them all season. We saw Boston blow a 6-0 lead yesterday to Toronto. So the bullpen can be problematic, but I'm assuming the total will be somewhere in the 8s, either 8 or 8.5. Probably too high. I'll go with the under.
I'm going to slightly disagree. I like Boston's team total over. I think their offense has been really good. 7+ runs scored in 4 straight games. They've been right around 500 in the last 10. 2 straight road series. They're 3-2 in that span. So they're coming back home where they generally hit the ball well. I like Buehler. 4 straight wins, 2 or less in 3 straight. He does have some walk issues. Had 3 walks in back-to-back games. I don't trust Minnesota on the road. Similar to Cleveland, I'd rather have them at home. But they have been okay lately, 6-4 in the last 10. But I don't think that the bullpen will be able to control some of these bats at home for Boston. So I like the Boston team total to go over.
Yeah, I think that once again, Boston could win the game, but I think Buehler against this offense should actually fare pretty well. So I think the Twins might sabotage the over by themselves for the full game. Yeah. Moving on to the next game. This might be the matchup of the weekend. You have the Athletics taking on the Marlins. For this game, you have Bido against we have no idea, and neither does Miami. You have undecided pitching. We have no lines at all. Yeah, it's kind of a pass, but I'll ask you. Sacramento was pretty good against Texas over the last few days, and we saw the Marlins get curb stomped by the Dodgers. which was obvious going into the series that they were going to get swept. But I like how the A's have actually been playing. Besides the one game they got destroyed by Texas, they won every game of the series. So I like how they're playing. And I think that Biddo's pretty good. So give me the A's to not, once again, be too embarrassing in this game because the Marlins are more embarrassing. So give me the A's to get the job done.
Yeah, I like the A's overall. I don't really. I mean, obviously, we don't know the price, but I think that the over is going to be a good play. I think both offenses have been really good. You talked about how the A's have been steady, man. They've been real steady, improving series by series, game by game. I still think they probably should add some pitching, a little bit more to their rotation, but their bats are really good. All those guys are young. Hopefully, they stay intact, and they'll be. I think they'll contend in the next like 2 or 3 years. I mean, they have that top end talent, especially at the top of that lineup. So, but in this specific spot, I like the over. I think both teams will be able to score. Miami's offense has been good all year. They've been better at home. So I would probably look at an over before I play the side.
Yeah, definitely think that, once again, Miami's been better than most years. They're still not good. Like, you got to set the bar somewhere. The A's, I don't want to say that they're feisty, but they're a little bit feisty. I'm just going to say, like,
they are.
I'm not saying they're going to be like a playoff team, but
I am. I'm betting on that wild card.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying in that pretty open AL West, they might be in more contention than people think.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll go with that as a compromise. Still think they're a 500 team, but that's saying a lot for where this team was about a year or two ago. So they'll take that. Moving on to the next game. You have the Dodgers against the Braves. For this game, you have the matchup between Yamamoto and Holmes. Dodgers are minus 165. The Braves are plus 140. Holmes 2-1, 4.5 ERA. Yamamoto's been great this season. 3-2 with a 1.06 ERA, which is filthy. Was not great last time out, though. Only one earned run, but he walked 4 guys against the Pirates, as the Dodgers did lose 3-0. But you're looking at the over in this game being set at 9. 9 feels very high. I understand that the Braves offense has kind of been waking up a bit lately. Yamamoto, I think, just had one bad outing. I think he'll bounce back here. And I think that Holmes, who has not been great, maybe he does get shelled, but Braves team total under, I think, is kind of intriguing. I think the Dodgers just roll. Give me Dodgers first 5 minus half a run.
Oh man, I like the other side. I think Atlanta gets some payback from earlier in the season. They're trending upwards. The Dodgers are always going to be the Dodgers, but on the road they've been susceptible. 6-7 on the road. They have won 5 straight versus Atlanta. They've won 5 straight overall, but they beat Pittsburgh and Miami, 2 teams that we just talked about. So not the best quality of competition. Yamamoto has been awesome. I mean, you mentioned that he does have some walk issues. I think Atlanta's bats can take advantage of that. I mean, 7-3 last 10. They've been much better since the start of the year. Holmes has not allowed a ton of contact, which is good when you're facing this lineup. He's under 5 hits in 4 of his last 5, 3 straight wins, but did not look good in his last start. So we kind of need to clean that up a little bit. But again, I think the total is too high. I think we see a 3-2, 4-3 type of game. So I like under, and I like the dog at home.
Yeah, I can get behind the under as well for this one. Moving on to the next game, you have the Astros taking on the White Sox. White Sox off a shutout win, which means it might be overdue for about, 10 earned runs tomorrow. But you have Cannon pitching against Valdez. Both guys basically equally not good. Valdez 1-3, 4 ERA. Cannon 1-3, 4.5 ERA. Houston, those minus 235. The White Sox are plus 195. If you want to go for the run line for Houston, you can get the run line at about minus 135. For the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at about 7.5. Now, Valdez said before the numbers are not great. However, he's been better lately. Last 2 starts, 14 innings, 4 total runs allowed. Unfortunately, he lost both games because the Astros scored a total of 2 runs in those 2 starts combined. He's really had 3 very good outings in the last 4, but he got shelled by the Cardinals in between, which kind of sabotages numbers. But Valdez has been pretty good lately. Cannon, though, I'm not a big fan of. Last start, though, 7 2/3, 3 runs, so he was serviceable last time out. But I am going to point out that the White Sox have lost, I believe it is, well, technically he didn't start the last game, but his last 4 starts, they are 0-4. So he gets no run support. The White Sox are pretty bad when he pitches. Valdez, though, I think has been pretty solid lately, especially the last 2 starts. Houston is better than the White Sox, obviously. It's not fun, but I'll go with Houston minus 1.5. If it's minus 235 money line and I'm getting 135 on the run line, I'm saving $1. You usually don't get that with a road team. I'll take that. Give me Houston -1.5 and -135.
Yeah, I like that. I like the team total over for them as well. I like the team total under for the White Sox. I think Framber, like you mentioned, he's been pitching okay, just not getting the run support. I think he'll deal here with the White Sox injury. I mean, not injuries, but with their lack of bats, especially at the back end of the lineup. So I've been looking at Framber K's as well. So I'm gonna probably ladder them up. I think Framber has a really, really good day in Chicago. So I'll probably take him to record the win and his strikeouts, like a little same game parlay. And you could probably get up to even money on that. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do to bring that money line price down.
Yeah, I can agree with you there. Moving on to the next game, you have the Mariners against the Rangers. It's like a bizarro world because the team that's actually hitting is not the Rangers. It's actually the Mariners, who have actually been a good offense so far this season. As for the matchup, though, you have the matchup between Wu and Leiter. Seattle, though, is -120. Rangers are even money, and the over-under in this game is set at 8 or 8.5. Leiter's been very good so far this season, 2-0, 2.03 ERA. Wu, though, is 3-1, 3.09 ERA. So both pitchers have been good, but Seattle's actually been hitting quite well. Yeah. And the Rangers can't hit to save their lives. So give me Seattle.
Yeah.
This team's been good. Like, absolutely, I feel like Seattle, you've kind of not paid much attention to. You look up and they're 18-12. But they've been good. And the Rangers are good at home. They were not good at home against the A's over the last few days. They were losing 3 of the 4 games. They scored 15 runs in the second game of that series. They scored 2 runs combined in the other 3 games. In fact, the Rangers have scored, pulling up the numbers here, they have scored less than 4 runs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of their last 9 games. They've scored less than 4 runs. So I guess I'm on the under because I don't trust the Rangers to actually score. And I like Seattle because this team is actually raking right now. And Texas feels good when they get to 3. So give me the Mariners money line at -120.
Yeah, I've been on the Mariners for about a month or so. So I'm gonna keep taking them here. They swept Texas early April, outscored them 17-6, and this was when they were kind of starting to ascend. They've won 8 of 10. Just to put some numbers behind what you were saying as far as the offense, 5+ runs scored in 7 of those 10 games. They're over in 9 of 10. Offense on the road, hitting 264, 5.2 runs per 9 on nearly 10 hits. Wu's been okay. He's been solid. I think he'll pitch well. Obviously, doesn't have to be the best because Texas offense is struggling so bad. They've been inconsistent. They are much better at home. But again, I think you got to take the team that's in better form. I would prefer Wu over Leiter, although he's been pretty good. I just don't trust the offense for Texas. So I'm going to take Seattle, and I'm going to take their team total over.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. Shout out to Polanco, who's been very good for Seattle so far this season. Yep. Moving on to the next game, you have the Cubs taking on the Brewers. Now, the Brewers are off a shutout loss to the White Sox, which is embarrassing in its own right. But the Cubs are off a nice win. I believe they swept Pittsburgh, I think. Right? They sweep Pittsburgh?
They lost yesterday.
They did lose yesterday? Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Sorry, yeah. So they won 2 out of 3, but they were able to beat Skeens today. For the actual matchup here, for the pitchers, you have, sorry, trying to find the game for a second. You have Brown against Priester. Now, the Brewers are -110. Cubs are -110 as well. Priester, 1-0, 3.79 ERA, and Brown is 2-2 with a 6.04 ERA. The over-under is set at 8.5. Now, the Cubs offensively have been very good this season. They are 10-6 on the road. Brewers are 500, but they are 9-4 at home. Priester, though, was having a great start to the season. Then the Cardinals ended up kind of destroying him as he ended up giving up 5 earned runs in 5 innings. We know Priester has not been great in his young MLB career, and we are waiting for the regression to come last start. Brown, though, also very young, not been very good. He was pitching better in 2 straight starts. Then the Phillies destroyed him for 3 2/3 and 9 hits, 6 earned runs. So I think I like the over in this game because I don't really trust either pitcher. And Milwaukee's offense at home has been fine, and you're looking at the Cubs offensively being good basically everywhere. So give me the over in this game. Think the total of about, once again, 8.5 feels a bit short. Give me the over on that.
Yeah, I like the over as well. So we're agreeing on that. I mean, Chicago's been up and down over the last few series, but one thing is consistent, which is their offense, like you mentioned. Brown's hit rate has been high, and I think you could expect some positive regression from that shutout for Milwaukee, who's 500 last 10. 3 of those wins versus the White Sox in St. Louis, which, I mean, we don't hold
It's
in
on
high
the
regards.
schedule. Can't blame the guy.
Yeah.
It's on the schedule.
They're coming home from three straight road series. They were 4-5 in that stretch. Priester's coming off his worst start of the year. He was really good in his starts prior. 5 earned runs in his last start, 3 in the other 3 starts combined. But I think the Chicago offense is just something that is going to be consistent, whether it's on the road or not. Milwaukee, I expect the offense to, like I said, be a little bit better. Well, obviously, they can't get any worse than today. So I like the over as well. I mean, I trust Chicago's offense more than almost anybody outside of the Dodgers. So I think they'll score some runs, and I think Brown's hit rate will allow Milwaukee to get some runs on the board. So I like the over as well.
Yeah, I do want to point out, by the way, just to go back to one of the games we already talked about, I see news about Walker Buehler. Says he returned to Boston for testing on his shoulder. Not a good sign, so I'm assuming he's not going to pitch tomorrow. So scrap everything I said about the Buehler going well in this game. I'm going to have to see who's pitching.
Yeah,
but I wanted to mention that Buehler probably is not going to go tomorrow. So wanted to mention that. Does that change anything that you said about that game?
Everything. It changes everything.
Yeah. Just wanted to bring it up because Buehler probably not going to go.
Yeah, well, not really. Well, I guess kind of. If
you wanted the team total against Ryan anyway, though, so that's fine.
Right. Yeah, but I wouldn't take the Red Sox if he's not pitching, depending on who it is.
Yeah, I agree. We wanted to mention that Buehler probably not going to go. Might be on the IL at some point in the near future. Moving on though to the next game, you have the Mets against the Cardinals. Mets off a rare loss at home, and the Cardinals had a pretty good series against the Reds. A lot of rain delays and all, but they were pretty good. Cardinals, though, are 4 under. They're 5 over at home, though, and the Mets are 10 over, but 500 on the road. You have Holmes against Gray. I feel like they faced off against each other like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, they did.
This is the rematch. You ended up seeing the Mets, I believe, win that first meeting against the Cardinals as they swept back in Citi Field. For this one, though, Gray 3-0, 3.6 ERA. Holmes 3-1, 2.64 ERA. Mets minus 120. Cardinals are even money. And for the over-under, I see 7.5. Now, for this game, I think the Mets are better than the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have something magical brewing in Busch Stadium where they are only good at home. They're terrible everywhere else, but at home they're actually pretty good. Minus 120, though, for the Mets, I think is very cheap. I think they should be a bigger favorite. Give me the Mets.
I like the Mets. I like the over. Mets have actually won 8 straight versus St. Louis, including that 3-0 sweep a few weeks ago. They're 7-3 last 10. Holmes and Gray, I think, are comparable. Holmes has been, pretty great thus far. He's had 1 earned run on 6 innings pitched versus St. Louis a few weeks ago. The matchup that you were talking about. Gray pitched okay, 3 earned runs on 6 hits. His hit rates have been a bit high, which is concerning because we saw the Mets offense kind of get things going. I'm wondering if they can take that on the road because most of that was at home, the damage that they've done. But Holmes allowed under 5 hits in 3 straight. He had 2 combined allowed in his last 3 starts, so he's been really, really good. The offense of St. Louis has been always the consistent, but I don't trust the pitching after Gray. So if Gray can't go, 6 strong, maybe 6 2/3, and they have to rely on that bullpen for more than 2.5 innings or 2 1/3 innings, I think they're in trouble, which I think they'll get to here. I think the Mets offense will get to Gray. So I like the Mets and I like the over.
Yep, I agree. Moving on to the next game, you have the Tigers taking on the Angels, second to last game on the card. You have Skubal against Soriano. Tigers, though, are minus 165. Angels are plus 140, and the over-under in this game is at 7.5. If you wanted to get bold and go with the Tigers run line with Skubal pitching, that is at around even money. Yeah, give me the Tigers minus 1.5 because Skubal's been shoving recently.
Yeah.
He killed the Orioles last time he faced off against them. 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, no runs. Like, he was phenomenal. He's allowed no runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. He's allowed 2 runs in his last 4 starts combined. He's been shoving. And Soriano has not been that great. Does give him a lot of contact, and it feels like the Tigers offensively can get to him, at least enough. You might only need like 3 runs to actually cash a run line here if Skubal just continues to pitch as his Cy Young self. But Soriano's been terrible at home. 10.38 ERA. He has given up at least 3 earned runs in 3 straight starts. I think the Tigers win this comfortably. I'll back Skubal until he struggles again. Give me the Tigers minus 1.5.
I like the Tigers as well, man. I think he pretty much took everything I had in my notes. Like literally everything.
No runs in 3 of the last 4 starts is just great.
Insane. Yeah. And so I'm gonna ladder his Ks up, and you know how on some of those, I think DraftKings does it. They have the Ks leader for the day. I'm gonna put Skubal up there. Obviously, he'll probably be favored. But the Angels have tremendous strikeout problems. They've lost 8 of 10, 5 straight I think Scooble dominates them. He's had
And
9.
Trout got hurt again.
Yeah, and he's had what's new?
I have to mention it though. He's going to be out probably on the IL again. Trout did get hurt, so there you go.
He's at 9+. Scooble's at 9+ Ks in 2 of his last 3. So I think he sees double digits. I'll ladder him here, and I like the I was about to say the Lions. I like the Tigers on the run.
I like the Lions too, but I like the Tigers in this game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Detroit sports, by the way, who've actually been having a bit of a resurgence. So there you go. Moving on to the last game, you have the Rockies against the Giants. Now, for this game, Giants -250. You have the Rockies at +205. You have Sanzatella against Ray. Ray is 3-0 with a 3.73 ERA, yet he tends to walk a ton of people. But last 2 starts, he's been pretty good. 12 innings pitched, 4 runs allowed total. Only walked 1 guy against the Rangers, so good for him. Rangers, though, I think are in the way bottom in walks per game, so it was a good matchup for Ray. As for Sanzatella, does pitch to a lot of contact. His numbers, though, have been underwhelming, but he's good on the road. 2.57 ERA on the road. Did struggle against the Reds the last time out, though. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 home runs. He has allowed at least 2 home runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. For the total in this game, I see the line being set at about, I think it was 7.5. I see 8 actually now, as the line did move a little bit. And for the run line for the Giants are available at -1.5 at about -118. Rockies +1.5, though, is even money. I think I like the over in this game because Ray's going to let guys get on base via walks, and I do think that he can give up a couple of runs. Sanzatella just gets by through some, magic pixie dust because everyone's on base. Gives up a ton of base runners, doesn't strike out anybody, and he finds ways to survive out of jams. But he has been getting, I'd say, increasingly bad results recently, and it does feel like when you're giving up that much contact, you're asking for trouble. So I think the Giants can get to him. I like the over in this game. You could argue that you don't want to lay 1.5 with Ray. I'd understand it, but I actually see runs in this game. I'll go with the over.
I agree with you, but I'm going to go with the team total over. I mean, you pretty much laid it out on the silver platter for me. Sanzatella's contact rate is disturbing. San Francisco hasn't been as good. I mean, obviously they cooled down from the start of the season, but I think they're going to get back into that form to meet that. They've leveled off a little bit, so I think they'll be back up to a different level. Starting with this series here, this is a perfect series to get some confidence going towards the middle of the month. So I think they'll start off here and be 100% locked in, especially on offense in this specific matchup. So I like the Giants team total over.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. That's going to wrap it up, though, for all the games on the Friday card. Now it's time for the lock and dog plays. Before getting to that, though, a reminder that we are brought to you by our sponsoring fans. You play there and pick them. For chance 100 times your money, you could also play their new game ladders. Win up to 500 times your money watching your favorite players climb the ladder. And a reminder, that when you sign up for your new account, use the promo code MLB SGPN to have a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to 1K bonus cash on your fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm because they're the home of that picks and props, all available for the NBA playoffs and for the MLB prop market. You can also dominate with your own model if you want to build one from scratch. Try it out for free for a week by using their 7-day free trial. But when you sign up for your account, you have 2 discount codes. You have a monthly deal, an annual deal. Monthly deal, 25% off with the promo code SGPN25, 50% off the annual deal with the promo code SGPN50. That's Rhythm, RATHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get the 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamepodcast.com/RATHMM. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games on the Friday card. Now it's time for the lock and dog picks. Lonte, I'll let you go first. What is going to be your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, so I want to go with the other team in New York. We're going to go with the Mets as the lock, -120 on the road. We talked about it. I think you laid it out perfectly. I think the Mets are a little bit short here. Holmes has been phenomenal thus far. I do know that St. Louis has been good at home, but I do think the Mets will overwhelm them offensively. And if they can get the Gray early, I think it's going to be a long game for them. So I like the Mets -120 for the lock. For the dog, I'm going with Atlanta. I'll call my shot with them again against Yamamoto at home. I think they get revenge. I think it's a big series for them. So I'm going to take +140 on Atlanta at home.
Okay. So for my lock on the show, I tried a total last episode, didn't work, so I'll go to a side on this one. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to back the guy that's been absolutely shoving lately. It's 164, so I'm wondering what the line will be on the first 5. What do you think I'll get for Skubal -half run in the first 5? Like 125?
I would say close to 120.
I mean, it's 166 for the full game, so it's probably right.
Yeah, probably about
I
120.
got to take that. I mean, Soriano's been a mess. Tiger's been pretty good. Shout out to Baez, by the way, who had a grand slam yesterday. But Scooball's given up no runs in 3 of the last 4 starts. There's a chance that you score 1 run that's enough to actually get the job done. You mentioned the Angels, though, are in free fall. Scooball's been great. You like his strikeout props. Give me Scooball and the Tigers' first 5 minus half a run as my lock. Don't have a line on that yet, but once again, hopefully it does pop up sooner rather than later. For my dog, though, going back to Kansas City, give me the Royals at plus 114. There's no way Baltimore should be favored. At minus 135 with Kramer pitching, who's been objectively bad all season. Walker's been better lately. Royals did sweep the Rays. They woke up offensively in the last game of the series. I think it's a good spot for Kansas City. Give me the Royals money line. Bitter revenge, by the way. Might be the first game in Camden since they lost the playoff series. They actually won the playoff series. My bad. The Royals beat the Orioles, but the point is the Orioles have been bad at home, been bad on the road, they're bad everywhere. But Kansas City's been in there before in bigger stakes. They've been able to win. I think that the pitching matchup is a pretty lopsided one, and the dog's favored. I mean, the dog should be, in my opinion, the favorite. So give me the Royals to get the job done at plus 114 on the money line as my dog. Lonte, I'll ask you, though, for the home run picks for the card on Friday. You have anybody you like for a home run?
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little chalk here. I'm gonna go with Bobby Witt. You just talked about it.
Homer today.
Yeah, he did, and I think he'll go. I think he'll go yard again tomorrow with Kramer. Especially, I mean, high contact pitcher. Bobby Witt actually was really good in that. I mean, he's good regardless, but he was really good in that playoff series. But I think in this specific matchup against Kramer, I think he'll be fine here. Like I said, he's hitting the ball really well. I mean, he's had 2 hits a couple of days ago. He had 3 hits about a week ago. Like I said, 8-game hit streak. So I think he continues with the homer tomorrow.
Yeah, so for my pick with the Rockies and Giants game, actually, wind is blowing out and Senzatello's pitching. I'm going to go with Yastrzemski. I think Yaz has a pretty good matchup here. I think that he can do some damage against Senzatella. Been great historically against Senzatella, as he is 4 of 9 with 2 doubles, so I do like his overall numbers. Senzatella, though, I said before, has given up 2+ home runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. That's a problem with the wind blowing out. Give me Yaz to hit a home run here in the late game. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Back once again for the show tomorrow to break down the Saturday games. And Lonte, anything else you want to add?
That's about it, man. Best of luck to everybody.
Cool. Sounds good. I know that Lonte and I will be back for the NBA show tomorrow morning if you want some basketball thoughts.